Have a look at the end of August into September today. We've got the updates from the long-range models. The JMA model and the Korean model have updated this week. So we'll see what they're showing for well, the rest of August and on into September. Also have a look at the CFS model for September as well. Before I get on with the video, just want to talk about the advertising. There's green keyword ads on my pages at gazwebbiz.com. If you roll your cursor over the green keywords, they'll display ads. If you click through word, you go to advertise website, and by doing that you're supporting gazwebbiz.com. Thanks very much for doing that. So we'll start off with the JMA model. This is broken down into weekly periods covering the next month. It's just updated literally in the last couple of minutes. It updates every Friday morning. We're looking at 500 millibar heights first of all. For the first weekly period, which is taking us from, say, today through to next Friday. So this is taking us up to around, say, the 23rd of August. So we're seeing that for the next week, the 500 millibar height anomaly is showing that we've got high pressure sitting to the south of the country. This is the British Isles just here, by the way. We're upside down, which is a bit annoying, but it's easy enough to really see what's going on. We've got the high pressure there sitting to the south and southwest. We've got low pressure sitting to the north. A big trough of low pressure is set up over the north pole. I've spoken about this before, but we've got a big polar vortex going up to the north in the Arctic. Very early for that, but there it is, we have got it. And the jet stream is coming across the Atlantic and running more or less through the British Isles, something like that. So that's always suggesting that it's more settled to the north, less settled to the south. But as we go on through the coming week, actually this area of high pressure from the south and southwest, as we know, will be getting more influential. Now, as you move through to the second weekly period, which is taking us to the end of August, is taking us through the final few days of August, ending something like, I think, the 27th of August or the 28th of August. And look at this, got that big area of above average heights formed a massive area of high pressure for the end of August around the British Isles and up to the north as well. So high pressure very much in control as we go through to the end of August. This does imply that yeah, we're going to be seeing a sunny, warm, dry sort of spell coming up for the latter stages of the month. The high pressure is actually centered to the northwest, so I'm not sure it's going to be that hot really, because that's not a particularly warm direction, to be honest. The air around that high pressure is probably coming around north or in a north or northeasterly direction. So if that's right, it wouldn't be particularly hot. But remember, these are 500 millibar heights, they're not exact replicas of the pressure pattern. So if that high pressure is just a little bit further south and east, then we'd be firmly in the warm temperatures. And then as we go through to the third and fourth weeks, which takes us into the first couple of weeks of September, will be taking us to around the 10th, 11th of September, I think. Well, then we lose the heights actually in those 2 weeks, and we bring back below average heights to the west of the country. That's low pressure beginning to come back to the west. We've lost the above average heights to the north and around the British Isles. We're bringing the jet stream through something like that, so it is coming more or less through the country. So that does imply that as you get through to September, we probably see the high pressure breaking down gradually. It's not a dramatic breakdown. We're not got a deep area of below average height sitting around the British Isles, so it's not a collapse of the high pressure. It's just probably a very gradual sort of decline into more unsettled type conditions as we go through in towards September. So if you have a look at the Korean model now, the South Korean model, and again these are sea level pressure anomalies for 10-day periods. So I think it's 10-day periods. Actually what we look at here is broken down into early, middle and late monthly periods. So I assume that's broken down into 10-day periods, really. 3 10-day periods, late, middle, early, middle and late. So what we see first of all is a big area for the early part of the month, is a big area of low pressure to the northwest. That's quite an unsettled looking signal actually. For the early part of September. The high pressure is up to the north over Scandinavia, but really that's low pressure in control for the first 10-day period of September. That seems a bit unlikely to me, because I think at least we'll be starting September with high pressure quite dominant, so I'm not sure that's quite right. So if you go through to the middle period of the month, this is for the middle of September, And we bring high pressure back then. We've got back those red colours indicating a mean anomalous area of high pressure coming to the west of the British Isles. Low pressure then is up over Scandinavia. That probably won't be particularly warm because the air around that high pressure would be coming something like that. So we'd be getting the air coming around, or the wind coming around the high pressure would be coming from a north or northwesterly direction. So not particularly warm, but certainly more settled away from Scotland and eastern England for the middle of the month. As we go into the end of September, late September, so this probably takes something from around the 20th to the 30th of September, well then quite interesting, we see a complete switch around again. So this is implying that we're seeing a very changeable sort of September with a lot of switches in the pattern, because then we've got a mean anomalous area of low pressure sitting to the west and the southwest of the country. Exactly where that high pressure was through the middle of the month, it's been replaced by low pressure. The high pressure appears to have gone up towards Greenland and Iceland, and we've also got high pressure building to the east of the country. Now potentially this could get quite warm at the end of September. This is like a Indian summer type pattern emerge, I think, actually, because this sorry, I've got that wrong. That's low pressure sitting as a mean anomaly to the west, and high pressure is sitting to the southeast. So between those two areas you will probably be bringing up southerly winds, something like that. So that could well imply, but as we get through to the latter stages of September, we could get an Indian summer based on that. That could get very warm and possibly thundery as well, with that trough of low pressure out to the west and the high pressure to the east. But that's quite interesting. But the main thing to take from the Korean model is that it's seeing a very a sort of changeable September with a lot of switches in the pattern. Nothing, no particular pressure belt dominating the monthly swing from lower pressure to higher pressure to lower pressure, and the air masses are changed as well. The middle of the month could be quite northwesterly, the end of the month could be southerly. So that's quite interesting what the Korean model is doing there. The CFS model next, and this is a temperature ensemble for cities. So this is for Birmingham actually, but you can see other cities, London, Glasgow, Manchester, Cardiff, for instance. This is at the website weatherweb.net. You can find the link to weatherweb.net at my links page. So let's just draw a line through these, and we're going from the 16th of August through to the end of September, through to around the 30th of September. So we do see that the CFS model is seeing a bit of a dip in temperatures coming up, but then we pick up some very warm temperatures as we go through next week. We know that's going to be coming off. Then the temperatures ease off a little bit, and they sort of stabilise then for the rest of August into the first few days of September. And it's when we get to around the 10th, 11th of September that the CFS model is starting to see quite a big slide off then taking place. We get quite a big slide in temperatures around the 10th or the 11th of September, and then that cooler sort of September weather goes on for the rest of the month. We do see those cooler temperatures then for the rest of September. So that's sort of telling us that we're going to start off quite warm for September for the first week or so, maybe up to 10 days, and then we'll see the temperatures sliding away. But this is a bit of a change on earlier members of the CFS, or earlier runs of the CFS model, because that was implying that we'd be seeing temperatures starting to dip down around the 5th. Now it's been pushed back to around the 10th. So maybe we're delaying the breakdown. The precipitation forecast from the CFS model, we see high pressure ridging through the country through the coming week. This is the week ending the 29th of August. As we move through to the next weekly period, which takes us to the week ending the 5th of September, again the idea is for high pressure to be really dominant through that week. We've got high pressure extending in across British Isles to the week ending the 5th of September and into many central parts of Europe as well. So that's high pressure firmly in control of the pattern through that weekly period. What happens as we get through to the next weekly period, which takes us to the week ending in the 12th of September, well then it's all starting to break down, it's becoming more unsettled. It's not totally wet. It's not a washout, but certainly more unsettled. The high pressure, it seems to be being attacked from both the south, with that above average precipitation to the south of the country over France, and it seems to be getting attacked from the northwest as well. So it does imply that there's a pincer movement going on through the week, ending the week from the 5th to the 12th of September. That's the critical week, I think, when the high pressure breaks down. And then as we go through to the next week, which ends the 19th of September, then low pressure is firmly in control of the pattern. We've got very wet conditions extending in off the Atlantic. That really is low pressure in control through the middle of September. So a lot of different ideas to go at there really from models. The CFS model seems quite straightforward, which is that September will start on quite a settled note, probably go on for a week or so. It's very settled weather, get broken down then up to around the 11th of September, and then beyond that we probably turn it very unsettled through the middle of the month. Whereas the Korean model is sort of suggesting that we're going to have lots of swings going on through September. We'll start off on an unsettled note. We may turn more settled, but it'll be quite cool for the middle of the month. But it could get very warm, but still be quite unsettled, particularly for the west at the end of the month. Potentially thundery at the end of September on the Korean model. And the JMA, that's suggesting that it's going to gradually break down. So the JMA and the CFS are probably sort of agreeing, actually, that we may start off settled for September and we'll see a gradual decline in the weather. Whereas the Korean model, I think the Korean model looks a bit extreme. The swings that are going on there with the Korean model, probably not right, and I think the CFS and the JMA are probably looking more reliable, which is that we'll start off on a 37 note and see a slow and gradual breakdown through the first 10 days of September to perhaps end up with quite an unsettled spell through the middle of the month. So that's how September's looking at the moment. It's a long way off. These models are all very experimental, so don't take it too seriously at all. And that's it for now. We'll be doing weekend forecasts tomorrow. Come back to the reliable time frame. We won't be using experimental models for that. We'll be using tried and tested forecasting techniques for the weekend forecast. So come back for that. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.